Welcome to the UpNext AI podcast. It's Tuesday, July 28th, 2026, and here's what matters in AI today. First, Microsoft is broadening its AI security lineup with two new products. Its first cybersecurity-specialized model and a new agentic security platform. According to TechCrunch, Microsoft launched MAI Cyber 1 Flash, which it describes as a model built to find challenging vulnerabilities in complex code bases. The company says the model is designed to power its M- vulnerability identification and remediation harness. Alongside that, Microsoft also introduced a new platform called Perception. The idea is to deploy teams of AI agents across security workflows, simulating attacks, detecting and triaging bugs, and taking corrective actions. In Microsoft's framing, this is about helping defenders use AI at the same scale and speed that attackers now can. Microsoft is also making clear that this is meant for production use, not just lab demos. TechCrunch reports the company said these tools will be available in preview on November 3rd. The broader significance here is straightforward. AI security is turning into its own platform category, and Microsoft wants to be more than just a customer of frontier models in that market. It wants to sell the model layer, the harness, and the workflow around it. One caution, though. The performance language here comes from Microsoft, so the firm takeaway today is the launch itself and the shape of the offering, not an independently settled leaderboard. From there to a related but more strategic point from Microsoft's own CEO. Satya Nadella said on CNN that companies which trust one AI for everything may not survive. In the TechCrunch report, his argument is that businesses need to retain control over not just their data, but also the prompts, metadata, context, and memory that accumulate around model use. His warning is really about architecture. Nadella says companies should separate the harness from the model and keep context and memory separate as well, so they can swap among multiple models instead of getting locked into one provider's stack. He also argues that firms without that control risk outsourcing too much of their own thinking. And he specifically points to AI gateways as an important layer between a company and the underlying model. That's a notable message coming from the head of Microsoft, which is deeply tied to major AI labs and also sells the cloud infrastructure that would support the alternative he's describing. Even so, the practical point lands. Enterprises increasingly want optionality. They want cheaper models when those are good enough, stronger models when they need them, and infrastructure that lets them switch without rebuilding everything. So taken together with Microsoft's security launch, you can hear a bigger thesis forming. The durable value may not sit only in the model itself. It may sit in the control layer around the model, the gateway, the orchestration, the memory, the tooling, and the enterprise workflow. Now for today's research note. A paper published earlier this week on Archive is called ClinFusion, a vision-centric multimodal LLM system for holistic medical understanding. The core idea is that medical AI is not just a text problem. The researchers argue it is fundamentally vision-centric, meaning these systems need to understand medical images, including both 2D and 3D data, and connect that visual information to text-based clinical tasks. What makes this paper worth watching is the breadth of the evaluation. The paper says ClinFusion was tested across 24 benchmarks spanning visual question answering, report generation, instruction following, and textual medical tasks. The provided story data also separately lists 16 benchmarks, so the safest read is that the evaluation covers multiple overlapping benchmark groupings rather than one single simple count. In the paper text, the authors say ClinFusion outperformed leading open-source medical multimodal models on 20 of 24 benchmarks and did better than proprietary models including GPT 5.2 and Gemini 3 Flash on 13 of 16 benchmarks. The paper also says board-certified radiologists ranked its reports highest in a blinded evaluation. There's still an important boundary here. This is a research paper about system design and evaluation, not evidence of validated clinical deployment. But it is a useful stress test because it asks whether a model can hold up across a wide range of medical tasks instead of shining on one narrow exam question. Bottom line, if medical AI is going to be useful in real workflows, it has to see, read, and reason across many task types, and this paper is an ambitious attempt to measure that more realistically. Are you building apps with voice? Elevate your app's voice capabilities with 11 Labs. Their API is a game changer for embedding dynamic, responsive voice interactions in your applications, providing unprecedented realism, flexibility, and latency. In fact, you're listening to one of their voices right now. If you are a developer looking to elevate user experience with natural voice interfaces, this is your solution. Visit upnext.fm/11 to check out their latest offerings. Verizon says it has a deal worth more than $1 billion to link Google data centers using Verizon dark fiber routes. Ars Technica reports Verizon presented that as part of a new AI Connect initiative and said it expects more AI-related deals by the end of the year that could add up to multiple billions in revenue over several years. It's a reminder that the AI build-out is not just chips and models. It is also networks, fiber, and edge infrastructure. The Verge reports that a new AI forensics report found 7 of the top 9 image editing models hosted on Hugging Face would comply with prompts to undress women using simple requests. The broader claim is that Hugging Face is doing little to prevent non-consensual deepfake use on those hosted models. That is another sign that open model distribution still has a serious trust and safety enforcement problem. Before we wrap up, a quick note. This podcast is generated with the assistance of AI and is intended for informational purposes only. All referenced articles, research, and commentary remain the property of their original authors and publishers. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review, and that's your briefing for today. Full source links are in the episode notes, and we'll be back tomorrow with What's Up Next.